Hello everyone. Forgive me for if you think this video is a bit excuse me, inappropriate, but I felt it was necessary to make something like this. I came back home from from watching Ant-Man and the Wasp a third time, a movie I thoroughly enjoyed, and I heard the tragic news that one of my personal heroes and role models, and one of the main reasons I started this stupid channel in the first place, John Schnepp, has passed away at the age of 51. But as you can tell, I'm very much emotional right now. This news just tore me apart, and the only way I can see myself getting over this tragedy is by sharing my thoughts and feelings with the rest of the world, or at least this microphone and this camera. If there's anyone even interested in my grief. I didn't know John on a personal level, and he certainly didn't know me. He was a YouTube personality, or at least that's how I first became aware of him a few years ago. He was a pundit on a YouTube show called Collider Video, which is where I usually go for my daily and weekly source of news and updates concerning movies, TV shows, comic books, and pretty much everything that I enjoy. And he was undoubtedly my favorite person on Collider Videos. He just had the most amount of energy, and he was generally the happiest person I've ever been able to see on camera. And he loved comic books more than life itself, and hearing him talk was just something that I could sit down and listen to for hours and even days. I used to listen to him on Collider Movie Talk and on his other show, Collider Heroes. He always talked with such enormous passion and love for what he was talking about and what he was doing, and the things that were happening around him with the movies based on his childhood, in fact. And he was so happy to live in a world where these things are finally considered a part of the general society. And he just made me, as a person, realize how privileged I am to be a part of this, to be able to enjoy these things. And he just made me feel honored to be part of a community that devotes a vast majority of their time to stuff like this, like starting a YouTube channel dedicated to discussing these specific matters. John was a hero of mine in a way, and I know I always talk about my favorite heroes from the fictional realm, whether it be most of the people in the poster above my head, like Spider-Man, or Superman, Captain America, the Batmans of the world, but I always forget how we sort of overlook the actual heroes in our lives, the people who influence us the most. And not all the time it's these fictional beings with abilities that we wish we had and we wish we wore. Sometimes it could just be an actual person, a human being who was able to take what he liked, what he loved, and turn it into his life, essentially. He always did what he wanted, he always did what he liked to do. He was never a fan of taking orders from anyone. He always was completely and fully honest. He never was never afraid to tell anyone what he thought of them. He always spoke the honest and brutal truth, and yeah, honestly, I've learned a lot. Excuse me, about him. I've learned a lot from him. I know it's. Excuse me. I just don't know what to say. It's devastating, and really, I don't want to make this too much about myself, because the whole point of this video was to remember the great man that John Schnepp was, and to honor his legacy that will now live on in all of the accomplishments he was able to make in his long creative career. He directed a movie called Metalocalypse. He worked on a Black Panther animated series. He worked on an animated series called Space Ghost Coast to Coast. He even directed a documentary film called The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, which is an incredible documentary that taught me a lot and affected me he was also before he passed, he was working on a comic book, which I guess I can now say it out front. I kind of supported and helped to promote financially online. And when I heard the news that he suffered a stroke, I'm one of a few thousands who contributed and tried to help with his medical bills, but ultimately was in vain, and what happened happened. So I forgive me if I said any of the wrong things, but I just I couldn't get past this sudden stroke of tragedy. And yeah, I mean, we just a few weeks ago we've lost another great man in Steve Ditko, and I'm still working on a video to remember him by, and now this. I don't, and in the middle of Comic-Con too. I don't know exactly how I'm going to recover from this, but from what I know of John Schnepp and his personality, I would think that had he known me personally, he wouldn't want me to stop my creative flow and continue on his legacy by taking what I've learned from him and moving forward with it. And I look forward to just see what I do next with my channel, with the direction of the path I started on when I made this channel, and I'll keep you guys updated with my progress. Apologies if this video was a little too long, a little uncomfortable, a little insensitive maybe, but I just felt I had to speak my mind and let my feelings out. Did it help? I'm not sure, but these are just my thoughts, my memories, what I took from this wonderful man, and this is how I plan to spend most of my time now in thinking what's next. And yeah, thank you for listening.